Captain Laserhawk, a Blood Dragon remix, is the newest Netflix animated show. So this show is based on, well, actually several Ubisoft video games. Each main character is a character from one of their games, like Assassin's Creed, Splinter Cell, Beyond Good and Evil, Rayman. So each character, almost each main character comes from one of those video games, and they've been combined into this dysfunctional dystopia world that's controlled by a big corporation called Eden, and completely controls the city that all our heroes live in. So this animated show follows Dolph Laserhawk. he's a cyborg ex-soldier who used to work for Eden, who has turned against them and is constantly working against them, and they call him a terrorist and everything like that. So we follow him. He's our main protagonist for the most part in this series. The series is 6 episodes long, so the story goes by very, very quick. It's quickly paced. You can do a lot in 6 episodes, but you also only have enough time. Like I said, we follow Laserhawk for the majority of the story. We have a few flashbacks for some characters, and it starts off, like I said, with him, with his partner, Alex, rebelling against the system, and the story, splinters in a few directions as we go along. Like I said, it's pretty fast-paced, so things don't stay status quo for many episodes. Overall, it's a very enjoyable show. I like it. The animation's clean, it's good. They do a few cool little things that harken back to video games. Like they do some, not 8-bit, but bit style animation, which is very cool. I think it's higher as 16-bit. It looks video game-ish. I don't know exactly what to call it. And then do some audio-visual things from early CD-based video games where they record people and it looks all super pixelated. So very cool animated, show. Well-designed characters. A lot of them I honestly couldn't recognize from their video games, which is kind of a good yet bad thing. I don't know. It depends on how you feel about your character designs. But overall, I thought it was good. I liked a lot of the characters. One of my only main complaints would be that I wish it was a little bit longer so that characters got more time to interact. But I think we got what we needed out of this show. Like I said, it's really quickly paced, but it does a lot of good, and it's a very enjoyable show. I do recommend it for people who love animation and who love video games, especially all the Ubisoft franchises, so you can try to get all the Easter eggs and everything. I'm honestly not too familiar with all their games. I haven't played a lot of them, but I have played some, so a lot of times I would be like, oh man, that's this character. It's very mature, so there's mature spins on a lot of these characters. Like I said, Rayman's one of the series in this show, and Rayman's, I would say, a very PG character in PG video game series, but he does drugs and all kinds of things in the show, and he gets a little violent at times, which is not really for kids. So if you're looking for a great representation of Rayman, I don't know how you're gonna feel about this, but it was cool to see him in the show because they don't do a lot with him, in my opinion. I can't even remember when we had a new video game. He showed up in the Mario/Rabbids game as a DLC character, but I don't even think he can interact with Mario, which is kind of a shame. I wish they used him more. Overall, like I said, it's a fantastic show. I really enjoyed it. 7 out of 10 is what I would give it. Enjoyable, fun show. Quick, easy watch. Like I said, 6 episodes long. I think the longest episode is probably 25 minutes. So if you wanted to sit down and watch it within a day, it wouldn't be hard, or an episode a day also would be very quick, very short, but fantastic, enjoyable show, which is a good thing. Okay, so I love to talk spoilers, so I'm about to talk spoilers, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you haven't watched it, move on. I'm about to talk spoilers. So, Laserhawk and his partner, slash lover, in the first episode, they're, it looked, like I said, they're fighting against the Eden system, and they rob this kind of video game thing towards the end of the first episode, which would allow you to create all kinds of money by yourself. And as soon as they get away and they escape, Alex betrays Laserhawk. He's like, I would do anything for this rebellion and to destroy this system set up by Eden. So he ends up betraying Laserhawk, which really breaks his heart. And he ends up, at the end of the episode, being at this maximum jail facility, which is kind of crazy because you think they would have killed him because he's like almost public enemy number one. But there, the show kind of goes into kind of like this Suicide Squad style show, which I thought it was going to be the entire show. He's there in the jail, and they put a bomb in his head. And they have other characters in there who have bombs in their head. There's Bullfrog, who's like this Assassin's Creed style frog, which I absolutely love. He's my favorite character. I really want to see more of him. These other two characters, Jade from Beyond Good and Evil, and her pig assistant buddy from that game. I haven't played it, so I can't tell you. So they, like I said, becomes like a Suicide Squad type show for just 2 episodes. In the second episode, Jade gets killed like halfway through the episode or something, which is really sad because I wanted to see more of her. They go to switch out like a gun or something from this big crime lord, and it doesn't work out, and all chaos breaks loose, and she ends up getting killed after they get captured. And then in the second episode, they go to this wrestling match, which I forgot to mention Cody Rhodes is in this, if you're a big fan of wrestling. He's part of the Suicide Squad type group, but he dies in the beginning of the episode right away, which I wish they kept him in for at least 2 episodes or something. It would have been fun to see him there for a while. Kenny Omega from AEW, I believe, also voices a character in the second episode. Like I said, they go to this wrestling arena and they're giving out these glasses as a prize, but they're secretly created to brainwash people. Like Alex, Laserhawk's ex, gets them, and he uses to brainwash all these the regular humans to go against the animal hybrid humans that populate the city, and all the chaos breaks loose because he wants to use chaos to destroy the current systems so he can start new and make everything great again. But by the end of this episode, he gets killed by Laserhawk, so it doesn't even matter, which is kind of a shame. I kind of wish they built it out a little bit more, but it was quick. And then the episode ends with the pig guy being killed and Bullfrog being captured, which really sucks. I thought they were going to kill him off. And Laserhawk being saved by the warden of the facility, who was like Amanda Waller in charge of their Suicide Squad called the Ghost Team. And her name's Sarah fucking... I can't remember her last name. I'm not going to remember it in a little bit. Anyway, they escape the facilities, and they go out to the desert. She repairs his arm and everything, because Laserhawk was in a battle with Alex, and he was badly hurt. And they end up getting captured by, I believe his name is Holloway, who's the leader of the Resistance, who we've heard about a lot, but hadn't really seen besides we'll see him in a flashback, or they mention him in a flashback. Either way, we hadn't seen a lot about him, and he puts Sarah and Laserhawk in this virtual reality place where to communicate. We get Sarah's backstory where Sam Fisher, so last name Sarah Fisher. Sam Fisher is Sarah's dad. He's the character from Splinter Cell. And when she was little, he tried to get her out of this slum city into a bigger, better city, and so he goes to Holloway to help him do that, and they help him. But Sarah ends up betraying them all because she's kind of brainwashed at this point, because the city, like I said, is this dystopia that's very horrible. They force you to watch TV. If you don't watch TV, you'll get fined like $5,000. It's very dystopian and crazy, so they start early brainwashing the little kids. And she has this, they use Rayman to do it, by the way. She has this little badge of Rayman. She's a Rayman kid. And she's like, good Rayman kid, they, report on their parents and everything, and they tell the city what's going on. So she ends up betraying them because she's brainwashed. And Holloway and all his friends get captured, and Sam gets out because he's like an ex-war hero. I'm not sure for Eden, but they say in America at least. So he gets away, and in the future, he ends up breaking Holloway out of this jail because when they imprison people, they stick them in a video game to control robots that run the city. And if they don't do what the video game tells them to do, it electrocutes them. So they pretty much turn these people into robotic slaves, or slaves to control these robots, which is very horrible. But Sam Fisher ends up rescuing him, and they start this huge rebellion at this area, in this jail and everything. But the Eden City just attacks them, and this big war breaks out where Sam Fisher is seemingly killed and everything, and a lot of people are killed. But that's where the rebellion starts with. Anyway, we go along, and Laserhawk decides that he's going to leave the facility that he was taking with Holloway and not be part of the rebellion because they're going to execute Bullfrog, so he decides to go help Bullfrog instead, which is very good. But on the way, he's confronted by this big army and these Power Ranger types characters, so he gets up in this big battle. And Holloway and Sarah are still back at the base, and we find out that Sarah is a traitor, essentially. So she's still brainwashed, or she actually believes this stuff, but she still works for Eden, and she still is part of their higher echelon. She's actually part of their big shadow organization. I forget what they're called, the executives or something like that. Anyway, so she's put a virus in Holloway's virtual reality robots and machines and stuff, and she threatens him. She's like cyborg now. She has like these robot spider legs and everything. She ends up defeating him because he locks himself in this room to destroy the virus that she put in his system. But all his friends are in these machines, like outside with her, so she starts killing them. She's like, if you don't get out here and confront me, she's like, I'm gonna kill all these people. So he kind of surrenders, and that's kind of like towards the end of the last episode. And Laserhawk comes back after defeating the army and everything, and he's badly hurt. And since he still has the bomb next to his head, he goes to Sarah, and she's holding his body as he dies, and she's trying to comfort him. And then he presses the button and explodes his head, and we think that Sarah died, but it turns out she's alive. And she tells Holloway, and she's like, I'm sorry for the interruption. Let's get back to what the offer I was trying to give you, which was she wanted him to join her shadowy organization. And while that stuff was happening, Rayman, like I said, he's a main character. In the beginning of it, he's this news anchor who does propaganda and everything like that. But as the show goes on, the Red Ranger type evil villain, he calls him a slur of names because he's an alien from a different dimension. And Rayman gets mad. He's like, don't call me that. He starts cussing on the TV and everything. He's like, you can't call me that, you piece of garbage. So he ends up getting fired, and they replace him with, I think, a robot or something. We don't really know at this point, but there's someone on TV who's impersonating him. So he gets really upset, and he ends up finding out, because he goes to Bullfrog, and he's like, you guys are just terrorists and everything, while Bullfrog's in jail. And he's like, no, we're not terrorists. We were trying to stop the atrocity that happened there. They treat our people like trash and everything like that, and they treat you like trash. As soon as you rebelled a little bit, look how they treated you. They took away your show, they replaced you. It's like, and you want to side with them? So towards the end of the show, Rayman changes his name to Ramon, and he goes and he kills the Eden executives, and he ends up saving Bullfrog. Or at least they stop the execution, so he isn't executed on live TV. So that's where the show ends. It ends with Ramon killing the head of Eden, except for Sarah, who is with Holloway, making him an offer. But there is a post-credit scene where it seems like Laserhawk is still alive, and so is Sam Fisher, who tells him, he's like, it's not over yet. And it's kind of like a little video game scene, and it says, continue, yes, no, and it ends on yes. So that's where the show ends. Like I said, it's very good. It's very entertaining. I like Sam Fisher a lot, so I'm excited to see him in season 2, hopefully, and more Rayman or Ramon. I like that he ended up going towards the good guy side, so I really hope that he joins the rebellion. And I really hope if we get a second season, it's a little bit longer, so it breathes a little bit more. Like I said, I wish there was more episodes for a lot of these characters to, interact. But by the 3rd episode, everyone in the Ghost team is pretty much dead except for Laserhawk and Bullfrog. And Bullfrog is in jail, so they didn't even interact anymore, which is kind of a shame. So I'm really hoping in the next season it's, the story goes a little bit slower paced and we get more interactions between the characters. But overall, like I said, great show. Absolutely enjoyed it, and I recommend it. So if you watched it, did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was a little too violent? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.